A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant and contentious move, Israel has granted final approval for a major settlement project in the E1 area of the occupied West Bank. This decision, made public on August 20th, 2025, has raised alarms among Palestinians and human rights organizations who argue that it jeopardizes the viability of a future Palestinian state. The E1 settlement project has been under consideration for over 2 decades, but had previously been stalled due to pressure from the United States. However, the current Israeli government, led by far-right Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, has pushed forward with the plans, framing it as a direct challenge to Western nations that are contemplating the recognition of a Palestinian state. Smotrich's rhetoric suggests that the approval serves to erase the prospect of Palestinian statehood, stating, "The Palestinian state is being erased from the table not with slogans, but with actions," highlighting the urgency and seriousness of the situation for Palestinians. The E1 area is strategically significant as it serves as one of the last geographical links between the major West Bank cities of Ramallah and Bethlehem. Currently, Palestinians traveling between these cities face lengthy detours and multiple Israeli checkpoints, which can take hours. The hope was that in a future Palestinian state, E1 would provide a direct connection between these two critical urban centers. The settlement plan includes the construction of approximately 3,500 apartments adjacent to the existing settlement of Ma'ale Adumim, which will further fragment the territory and complicate any future negotiations for a two-state solution. Critics of the settlement expansion, including the organization Peace Now, argue that such developments are designed to sabotage any political resolution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They emphasize that while there is a global consensus aiming for peace and a two-state solution, the current Israeli government appears to be undermining these efforts, which could have dire consequences for both Palestinians and the broader region. The international community has widely condemned Israeli settlement construction in the West Bank as illegal and an obstacle to peace. The United Nations has urged Israel to reverse its decision, warning that it would effectively end prospects for a two-state solution. UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric reiterated that settlements violate international law and further entrench the occupation. The situation on the ground has become increasingly tense, with a surge in violence and hostility between settlers and Palestinians. Reports have indicated a rise in attacks by settlers on Palestinian communities, as well as evictions and military operations that restrict Palestinian movement. The approval of the E1 settlement comes at a time when over 700,000 Israeli settlers reside in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, a demographic shift that complicates the prospect of a contiguous Palestinian state. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has openly rejected the notion of a Palestinian state coexisting alongside Israel, asserting his commitment to maintaining control over the occupied territories, which were seized during the 1967 war. As the world watches these developments unfold, the question remains, what will be the future of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and how will the international community respond to actions that threaten the fragile hopes for peace? With tensions escalating and the potential for further unrest, this situation is one that will require careful monitoring and diplomatic engagement from all parties involved. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.